Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is news time again from this very good channel. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Hope you're good. I pray that God will be with you in your endeavors. Today, we have another update for you. And I want you to, after listening to it, you drop your opinion and suggestions you have so that Biafra will be free. And that's just it. Okay, let's go there.
The current president of France, in the person of Emmanuel Macron, is currently planning something that will definitely change the trajectory of the USB movement. And in this video, we shall be covering and exposing every single thing that has happened behind the scenes and how the current and the sitting president of France, Emmanuel Macron, is now actively involved in the USB struggle. Yeah, so the question here is, how did it happen, and what is Emmanuel Macron currently planning for or against the USB movement? Well, it all kicked off on the 3rd of April of 2025, a couple of days back, 2 days back to be precise, when leaders governing the USB movement sent a letter, a documented letter, to the current and sitting president of France, asking for his support and asking him to recognize USB and also create an international relations between the government of USB and the government of France. Well, for better clarification, showing right now on your screen is this post released by the USB, where it clearly states the fact that they have contacted the government and the president of France, asking for a strengthened relationship and asking for the support of the sitting president of France in the person of Emmanuel Macron. Yes, when this letter was sent to the president of France, a lady known as Emmanuel Blattman is the individual that presented the letter coming from the USB to the sitting president of France in the person of Emmanuel Macron. This lady known as Emmanuel Blattman happens to be the former ambassador of Nigeria, ECOWAS and Sudan, and she occupies a pivotal role in the French political system or atmosphere. So she's the lady who handed over the letter coming from the USB to the president of France. Yes, this lady had to travel to a country known as Lesotho to meet Macron in person, because the president of France traveled to an African country known as Lesotho to hold a crucial meeting with the president and political leaders of the country. So this lady known as Emmanuel Blattman traveled to Lesotho to meet with Macron, and they had a conversations regarding USB, and this man Macron promised to aid, finance and fund the USB movement and also create an everlasting relationship between the USB and the country of France. But things got really interesting and very dicey, because like we all know, the president of Nigeria, in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, traveled, or he left the country and he was headed to France to hold a 2-week walking visit. Showing right now on your screen is the day and time when this man traveled from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport straight to Paris to hold this 2-week crucial meeting. Interestingly, we all know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, together with Emmanuel Macron, are close friends. These guys, over the past couple of years, have been pictured together in Paris, which is the capital city of France. So it's very clear that Emmanuel Macron is a close friend to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So things got really interesting. Yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu traveled to France on the 2nd of April of 2025. Yes, and this man, the president of France, was in Africa from the 31st of March up until the 2nd of April. And on the 3rd of April, he traveled to France. Yes, he traveled to France, meaning that it's very possible that he met with Bola Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, to hold a series of conversations or probably to hold private talks regarding their private lives. Yes, so how did we know that Emmanuel Macron was in France on the 3rd of April? Well, share right now on your screen is a tweet or a post coming from himself, his official Twitter page or his official X page, as the case may be, where he was having a series of conversations regarding the tariff that the president of the USA has imposed on a series of countries of the world. Yes, so he was seen having a crucial meeting, and like I said, this was dated on the 3rd of April of this particular year and time. We had to do a quick investigation to know where this meeting was held. Showing right now on your screen is a clear confirmation that the president of France, in the person of Emmanuel Macron, was actually in a meeting in Paris on the 3rd of April 2025, meaning that there's every possibility that he has met with Bola Tinubu on that particular day or any time within. So the question here is, why is this a problem? Well, Emmanuel Macron is a close friend and a close ally to Bola Tinubu, who is the president of Nigeria, and the USB wants to leave the Nigerian entity. So this is actually a wrong move by the USB leaders and government. You can't actually meet a friend to the president that you want to leave his country. This is a bad and not a strategic move. It simply means that Emmanuel Macron can actually receive vital info, classified info from the leaders of the USB, and in turn give it to Bola Tinubu swiftly and smoothly, which definitely will be used against the USB struggle. Yes, as we speak, a lot of citizens of the USB are not actually happy with that particular move. They were like, how or why should you meet this man, Emmanuel Macron, a man that series of African countries are trying to leave or stop having relationship with? Yes, a lot of African countries have, as we speak, chased out any form of French organizations or institutions in their country. Yes, a lot of African countries like Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and so on and so forth has chased out France from their country. But Nigeria and the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, have opened his arms and he has welcomed this man into the affairs of Nigeria. So having Emmanuel Macron in the USB struggle is actually a wrong move. This move will definitely counterattack all of the struggles and all of the policies put in place over the past couple of months. Yes, as we speak, a lot of citizens of the USB aren't too happy with this particular move made by its leaders by involving Emmanuel Macron. Share right now on your screen are some of the tweets we've received. Yes, a lot of individuals believe that you cannot involve Emmanuel Macron in your dealings. This guy is like a snake. He doesn't have any compassion for African countries. He doesn't value Africans as a whole, and is only interested in stealing and taking resources from African countries. So what do we think this man is currently doing with the USB struggle? Well, it's very, very simple. Emmanuel Macron is not too interested about the sovereignty of the USB as a country. He's not too interested about its development. He's only interested in the resources that he can find within the borders of the USB struggle. Yes, and that is why the government of the USB needs to stay clear and not bring France as a whole or Emmanuel Macron into its struggle. Anyways, with all of that being said, let's take a look at some interesting info and details we received just yesterday. Just in case you don't know, the current and the sitting president of the most powerful nation of the world, in the person of Mr. Donald Trump, has officially recognized the USB constitution as law. Yes, this came as a shocker because the sitting president of the most powerful nation of the world has officially recognized the USB and its constitution.